It's time for Giants Kickoff.
The Giants travel south to the Carolinas, where they will take on a Panthers squad fresh off an early season bye. Big Blue enters the game licking their wounds after dropping to 1-3 on the season, following a 33-18 home loss to the New Orleans Saints a week ago.
We are better than 1-3, but Coach Johnson put up a quote from Bill Parcells saying, "You are what your record says you are." So we got to prove that wrong. We got to come out and start finding a way to win games.
All right, how you doing, everyone? I'm Russ Salzberg, and welcome once again to Giants Kickoff, our pregame look at the New York Football Giants as they get ready for the NFL Week 5 matchup with the Panthers.
And I'm Tina Cervasio. Thanks for joining us as the Big Blue hit the road once again this week, hoping for better results against a well-rested Carolina squad.
That's right, and you can catch all the action from tomorrow's matchup, Giants-Panthers, from Bank of America Stadium down in Charlotte, North Carolina, 1 p.m. only on Fox 5.
At 2-1, the Panthers are in second place in the NFC South, while the struggling Giants at 1-3 are all alone at the bottom of the NFC East. It's the first matchup between these two squads since the infamous Odell Beckham Jr. Josh Norman showdown back in 2015. Here's more on this week's contest in our game day preview.
Game day preview brought to you by Spectrum.
It's execution, it's moving forward, and try to eliminate the mistakes and make plays when they're there.
It's a matchup of NFC opponents featuring the dual threat capability of Carolina standout signal caller Cam Newton. But it's the Giants field general Eli Manning and his offense that are looking to gain consistency in their execution and more opportunities for the big scoring plays.
The goal is always to be balanced. It's to run the ball, getting the ball out quick, taking your shots down the field, but it's mostly just to staying good down in distance and give yourself the chances to score touchdowns.
We got to get back to the basics. We got to kind of do what we did the first drive against the Saints. Continue to have that momentum. That first drive epitomizes what we're capable of doing.
Heading into Week 5, the offense has to make adjustments to take advantage of their playmakers' skill sets, but also prepare for a talented Panthers defensive line.
We need to be making plays. We need to block up front. We need to throw it. We need to run it. We need to be making plays every which way, especially now. There's still good energy here. It's not like the energy's bad or we're all nervous or walking on eggshells, or I don't feel that way at least. You might have to ask somebody else. I don't feel that way. If there's anything I can do to make sure nobody else feels that way, I'm trying to do that. So we're not panicking. 1-3, you can win the next 2 games, then it's 3-3, and we're all sitting here with different looks on our faces, different questions.
The Big Blue defense once again faces a mobile quarterback in Newton. For this game, the Giants get some help back on the defensive side of the ball. Linebacker Olivier Vernon practiced in full this week and is expected to play against the Panthers.
Great thing about Vernon is he's quick on his feet for a big guy, very smooth, can get rid of blocks, very strong. So when a quarterback comes his way, he can outrun some quarterbacks and keep up with him.
He knows he can make plays with his feet. He's going to try to put you in that type of situation. He's a special quarterback that he has the capabilities of doing a lot of things. So all we can do is just focus on playing on assignments and trying to get the job done right.
Head coach Pat Shurmur says there is no tomorrow. The focus is on preparing for the Panthers today. Giants players feel the same way.
That's the mindset every week. All you can worry about is today, getting better.
You just got to continue this work, not get down, like I said, have positive energy, learn what you can do to help the team, learn what you can do better, help yourself better in certain situations, and get ready for the next week.
All right, up next, I had a chance to talk with the man who draws up the Big Blue game plan, that, of course, being Giants head coach Pat Shurmur. I know you're getting sick and tired of the same old questions, so let's start with something fresh. How you feeling? How's the family? All good?
Yeah, everything's good. We're a team right now. We're battling through. And there's things that we're doing better each week. We just got to do more things better. We got to get the ball in the end zone on a more consistent basis. And I feel like the results will be the way we want it.
How about some of your walking wounded? Olivier Vernon, Eli Apple, expecting them back?
Yeah, well, I think we're going to be about as healthy as we've been, so we'll see how many of those guys make it back, but at least through the practice sessions, we got more guys out here.
What about Sterling Shepard? He had a cyst removed from his back. Is he going to be okay?
Yeah, he's fine. He just had a little medical procedure. It took a couple days to heal, so we anticipate he'll be playing.
All right. What's the key to beating the Carolina Panthers?
Another playoff team that we're facing. You know, they're very good on defense. You know, at times we got to march the ball. Other times try to create some big plays, put it in the end zone, and then certainly on the other side of the ball, it's Cam Newton. You know, the run game goes through him. There's a lot of quarterback runs. McCaffrey, right? So the run game, they're the #1 rushing team, and we got to do a good job stopping the run. And then when they do choose to pass, we got to pressure them.
Pat, I know a coach needs to stick with what he believes in and stay the course. Having said that, do you believe your guys are close to getting this straightened out?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, you know, the important thing for us is to keep moving, keep getting better, and turn them into wins. We understand that, and that's a weekly deal. And the key is to win a division, and so, you know, it's a long season, but it's shorter now that one quarter has already been played.
And one final question. Winning obviously builds confidence. Losing can work in the opposite direction. Do you sense your guys are getting frustrated?
Not at all. Not at all. I think our guys understand how to work. They appreciate the fact that when you work, it'll help you have success on Sunday. And then when we get out there, you know, right is right. We got to get it done.
Still to come on Giants Kickoff. Russ goes one-on-one with Giants receiver Sterling Shepard. His thoughts on unleashing the explosiveness of the Big Blue O and his secret weapon that has him striving to be the best he can be. Plus, our Giants insider Paul Dottino talks about trying to contain the Panthers' dual-threat duo on offense. QB Cam Newton and running back Christian McCaffrey. Straight ahead. Giants Kickoff brought to you by Adorama, official electronics retailer of the Giants.
I'm Eli Manning, and you're watching Giants Kickoff on Fox 5.
All right, he's been a bright spot for Eli Manning there and the struggling Giants offense during a difficult start to the season. A young player who seems to have taken his game to the next level. The Giants' number 87, Sterling Shepard, is the focus of this week's player profile. Sterling, 10 targets last week, 10 catches. Your first 2 years with the Giants were good, but I'm sensing this to be your breakout year. You feel the same way?
You know, I'm not really looking at it like that. I'm just looking to get the team back on the right track. You know, it's more of a team thing than an individual deal. If I do my part, then, you know, we can get back on the right track. So that's what I'm focused on.
Even though everything's been good for you personally, is there anything about your game that you want to improve on, or maybe you feel you need to improve on?
I think there's always room for improvement, even if you're having your best season. I mean, there's always things that you can work on, which getting open, catching the ball, things that you always have to do as a receiver.
You mentioned frustration before. With you included, this team is loaded with explosive players on offense, yet the offense hasn't been able to get on track. How frustrating is it dealing with that?
I mean, I don't think it's difficult. I feel like every guy's still striving to be great. I mean, we can turn this thing around still, so guys are coming in here with energy and are just trying to figure out what we need to do to get back on the right track. And everybody's been focused and honed in on that. So, you know, we're looking to turn this thing around this week.
Sometimes, Sterling, losing can pull a team apart, divide it. But I'm in that locker room darn near every day, and it appears to me everybody is united. Is that the case?
Yeah, no, there's no way this team is going to get pulled apart. We've been through a lot together, grinded together, so we're not going to be pulled apart by anything that's going on. And like I said, still early on in the season, we could turn this thing around.
Now, let me ask you this. I know losing can be frustrating. The team is 1-3. But your daughter, Callie Clay, was born roughly 2 months ago. How much easier is it going home after a tough day's work or a tough Sunday knowing that she's there for you?
Yeah, I mean, some days are tough, but, you know, your children, they do a good job of cheering you up, and every time I see her face, I light up with a smile. So, can't wait to get home every day, but also have to provide for her, and this is the way I provide for her. So I'm all locked in on this.
Up next, I sat down with Paul Dottino, the Giants beat reporter for WFAN Radio and our Giants insider. Paul, offensive line woes continue to hamper this Giants offense from getting going. But what improvements have you seen through 4 games?
Well, specifically in the assignments, they've been much better getting their assignments down in terms of knowing what it is that they want to do, getting on the same page. Also, I think the pass blocking has gotten better over the last 2 weeks. Now, the run blocking still has some improving to do, and I think that's what they're going to work on against Carolina.
What do the Giants have to do to get more balance from their offense where they can score from the downfield big plays or with the running game?
I think, Tina, they've got to get that run game going, especially on first down. You see, if you don't get teams to respect your running game, you can't get them to react to the play action, which is what Eli Manning does so well. So they've got to get some rushing yardage early in the series. That opens things up and keeps defenses on their heels.
The defense has played better, though. This week against Carolina, how do they deal with a dual threat of quarterback Cam Newton?
They are one of the most run-oriented offenses in the NFL. Newton is a big reason why. They will run more run-read options than anybody in the league. So clearly you have to maintain the edge.
Christian McCaffrey is a big dual threat as well, whether it's through the air in the receiving end or, of course, the way that he runs the ball. Who has to step up in order to contain him?
The Giants have chase and hit linebackers. In other words, they need to make sure that the traffic is clean so that they can chase the ball or chase the hole. So what you need is your defensive line has to hold ground at the point of attack so the linebackers can then make the play. It's a two-pronged effort.
So what do the Giants have to do to go down to Carolina and come back with a victory?
They've got to stay turnover-free, first of all, because the way that Carolina will run the football, they're going to try to control the time of possession and then control the tempo of the game. The Giants cannot allow that to happen. So they've got to make sure they maximize points per possession and make sure they don't give up poor field position on possessions.
Still to come on Giants Kickoff. Members of the Big Blue heading out on patrol with officers from the Camden Police Department, their new age approach to police work in this week's Giants Among Us. Then we test members of the Big Blue on their knowledge of the NFL team that calls the Carolinas home. Our trivia challenge, Know Your Foe, is still ahead.
I'm Connor Barwin of the New York Giants, and you're watching Giants Kickoff on Fox 5.
Thanks for staying with us, folks, and you can watch all the action from this weekend's game, Giants-Panthers, from Bank of America Stadium down in Charlotte, North Carolina, tomorrow, 1 p.m., only on Fox 5.
Members of the Big Blue getting a behind-the-scenes look at new age policing techniques used by police officers in Camden, New Jersey, is the focus of this week's Giants Among Us.
Giants Among Us, brought to you by your local Ford stores.
All the way out of our fan territory down to Camden.
This past offseason, 3 members of the Big Blue, accompanied by several Giants support staffers, were invited to observe the practices and community policing by members of the Camden Police Department.
We had to take all the best practices that we could find across the country, bring them together, and then find a way to deliver that training and then sustain it over time.
They learned about the techniques being employed by local law enforcement to make Camden a safer and better place to live.
When you can get the people of the community to get to know the officers individuals, and the officers individuals get to know the people in the community and who they are by name, you're not looked at as a patch or a symbol of authority. And that's really been the key for us.
Hey, my name is Steve. Give me a favor, drop the gun.
Olivier Vernon, Damian Snacks Harrison, and Patrick Omame got to see and participate firsthand in the virtual training used by Camden officers.
We meet people most of the times when they're at their worst. It is up to us to get them through their worst so they can have good times again. We have to be compassionate. We have to understand.
Sir, I'm Officer Vernon. That was just virtual, so it wasn't even, real life. But you could feel, the intensity a little bit, when they're coming in, and it's like you're just on screen right now. I could imagine, what you guys got to go through out there on the field work.
That was an eye opener for me, both situations, because you just see how bad it can go if the situation isn't de-escalated almost immediately.
You have to have a mix and a balance between a peaceful resolution as well as perhaps a force option, less than lethal option, something like that.
We're in the neighborhoods, and this is what we do. Partnerships of all kinds, all people. We come out here, and this is what we do.
Though closer to Philly than the Big Apple, the players clearly made a connection with the officers as well as the members of the local community.
From what I heard a few years ago, how Camden used to be, to what it is now, it's like night and day.
Actually come here and see that you have officers actually walking up and down the street, talking to the people that's sitting outside on their porches. They're involved in the communities. And it seems to me, at least in this community, that they trust the officers.
If both sides understand each other on a personal level, that's when you can really have a common ground. It makes all the difference. The Camden PD is really a living testament to that.
Still to come on Giants Kickoff, Tina and Russ with their picks for this week's matchup with the Panthers. Plus, it's trivia time, Giants Kickoff style. Which members of Big Blue will have the correct answers?
Can I do all the above?
No.
It's just a scientific nomenclature?
Know your foe is straight ahead. Giants Kickoff brought to you by Ticketmaster and the NFL Ticket Exchange, the only official ticket exchange of the NFL.
I'm Saquon Barkley, running back for the New York Giants, and you're watching Giants Kickoff on Fox 5.
All right, here we go. It's that time once again to challenge members of the Big Blue on their knowledge of this week's opponent, the Carolina Panthers. So with that, I give you Know Your Foe.
Know Your Foe, brought to you by your Tri-State BMW centers. BMW, the ultimate driving machine.
All right, Connor, here we go. The Panthers play their home games at which venue? Is it A, NASCAR Stadium, B, Bank of America Stadium, or C, Wright Brothers Field?
Bank of America.
Okay. The Carolina Panthers represent which state? Would it be A, North Carolina? Would it be B, South Carolina? Or could it be C, both North and South Carolina?
North. But you pay taxes in both.
Both? You asking me?
Yeah.
Or you telling us?
Both.
You right.
Both.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, all right. The name of the Panthers' current head coach is A, Ron Darling, B, Ron Jeremy, or C, Ron Rivera?
C.
Okay,
Ron Rivera.
C. True or false? No Panthers player has ever won the NFL MVP award. True or false?
True. That's so false, Cam Newton. That's so false, Cam Newton.
A female Panther is known as A, a lady cat, B, a she panther, or C, a pantheress.
A pantheress.
Look at you. You pulled that out of your hat, brother. The North Carolina slogan is A, first in line, B, first in space, or C, first in flight.
First in flight.
The name of the official Panthers mascot is A, Sir Purr, B, Courageous Cat, or C, Pete Panther.
Sir Purr.
Know Your Foe.
All right, that always cracks me up. Time for our picks, Russ?
Let's go.
All right, so 2 weeks ago, when I thought the Giants would struggle against a mobile quarterback, I picked Houston, and the Giants won. So with Newton, he makes me kind of feel the same way. So I'm going to pick the Panthers in this one, 27-21, but maybe I have a pattern going, so we'll see next week.
Well, Tina, I got to tell you, the last time we were here, I felt that the Giants were desperate for a victory going down to Houston, and they delivered. That being the case, I believe they're desperate once again. So desperate times call for desperate measures. I say the Giants prevail by the score of 26-20.
All right.
And you can watch all the game action tomorrow on Fox 5, beginning for you at 1 p.m.
And that's a wrap on our NFL Week 5 edition of Giants Kickoff. For our entire Giants Kickoff crew, I'm Tina Cervasio.
And I'm Russ Salzberg. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday, folks, and have a great Giants football Sunday.